So at first we were dealing with monster men, but now we're dealing with superheroes turned monster men? Say it ain't so! What's up everybody, I'm Stan and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This iRate review is going to be regarding The Night of the Monster Men Part 4 and 5. So we're going to start off with Batman issue number 8. And to be perfectly honest with you, as I start up with this story, you've got a very slow kind of progression that's been going along, and this story doesn't really pick up in any kind of particular pace. It's plodding through everything, and we see some small conclusions, but ultimately the emphasis is really on showing how things get resolved relatively conveniently. There isn't really a whole lot of development in terms of this monster fight. When you've got a situation where Gotham Girl and Nightwing are now currently beasts that barely have any kind of control of themselves and are hell-bent on destroying things, and then all of a sudden Duke conveniently shows up and takes care of things? Man, that's just so disappointing. It's one of those things where they're making a very serious kind of insinuation that's just like, oh my god, Alfred and Duke don't have the skills that they need to take care of this. And then somehow they magically reverse engineer this genetic manufacturing kind of, this genetic replicator. I'm so frustrated I can't even talk about it because it's unfortunate. It's less than what the story would really deserve. I'm not blaming Steve Orlando, I'm not blaming Tom King or anybody else in the creative team, but it's just one of those situations where this story could have been better served in a 3-part story. You know, it's a 1-issue, 2-issue, 3-issue. Carry it over an entire course of half a month, and you've got everything that you really need. And that's just really emphasized even more as we get into Nightwing issue number 6. Because now that Gotham Girl is currently out of the picture as a monster, we've just got to focus on Dick Grayson. And Dick Grayson is this giant hawk beastie kind of thing, is amazing. These are books that you could have written an entire book around the battle and the need to overcome this kind of situation. And what happens? Batwoman ties up the wings of Nightwing as a monster and falls onto some sort of antidote that Duke has brought to them, that's being held there by Gotham Girl in her superpower and super strength. Oh man, come on guys. At least at the end of Nightwing number 6, what we do is we get the idea that Hugo Strange has been setting this all up to create some sort of mass conflict between Batman and himself. So he's masterminding this whole thing to create this confrontation, and that's what I've been waiting for all along. Let's not forget that there are a few monsters still running amok inside Gotham, but that doesn't really do anything to really entice me in the same way as Hugo Gaines, you know, the big buff, brilliant mad scientist behind this whole thing, is looking to throw down one-on-one with the Bat. As far as the art's concerned, the art has been particularly consistent. I like the way that some of these things are stylized. It has been getting a little bit more messy towards these later books, but I'm going to forgive it for that because overall, the entire storyline seems to be pretty much average. Let's hope that part number 5 and the lead into part number 6 is really going to get me where I need to go in order to be more accepting of how everything's gone, because otherwise, this isn't necessarily something that I'd pick up as a trade or in its kind of collected things. A lot of people could probably skip this and be totally fine.